Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading. This is your mega deck reading for whatever this month is, May, something like that. Who knows? But this is mega deck right here. It's a combination of the Sacred Shaman Oracle, the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and the Good Tarot as well. It has been shuffled, and if you're one of those people who needs to see me shuffle on camera, go watch someone else, because I'm just not going to spend 40 minutes on camera shuffling this deck. But for the rest of you that, are smart and attractive, because only smart, attractive people watch Minnow Tarot, we're gonna get into it, right? You start here in your first row with the Sorcerer, which is kind of like the Magician, but also different. So I kind of feel like you are creating your own reality at this time, or you could be working on creating something, because look, we go from the Sorcerer to the World, which would be some sort of accomplishment, to this Horned Cactus card, which I love, and it says Resourcefulness on it. So, I feel this is true for basically everyone, and I even do say it to everyone, that we can pretty much create whatever we want at this time, but apparently that camera's dead. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, Aquarius. I told myself that I only had 2 more readings left, and I did like 3 readings and didn't replace the batteries. So there you go. But we have the star here, and I feel like the star is saying that, you're showing up in a very strong position. I think with the combination of the sorceress here, or the sorcerer here, that you are able to kind of like create worlds right now, and I kind of feel like this is encouraging you to do so. Right below it, you also have this empty well card, which I'll show you in a minute, but it does say time to replenish, and the star literally represents a time for you to replenish your energy, a time to, rest, relax, recover, heal, any of those things that you need to do. I would do that. So again, you have this empty well card, and they say you can't give from an empty cup. And I'm not even saying that you're giving for love. Like, whatever you're trying to do right now, if you are not healing, resting, relaxing, or, taking at least a little bit of time for yourself, I feel like this is saying you have to refill or recharge your batteries so that you can be very successful. Because, we go up to this 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is a card of defending your position at the top of a hill. And I'm not saying that you're defending yourself, but I do feel you could be making some decisions in your life that, other people can't understand, or, maybe you feel like, maybe you feel like you have to do things alone. So I feel like you're going to need the energy to do it. With that Sorcerer card, you have the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords is like having a nightmare, waking up, and being stuck in a nightmare. So I feel like it's time for a change is really what this is saying. And it's time for you to make some sort of change in your life. And, it kind of looks like that's what you're doing. The 9 of Swords could represent an end. I feel like you kind of have to end some sort of round-and-round situation in your life. With the star, you have the Queen of Pentacles here, another card of resourcefulness. So, I don't know, this happens all the time. I think that just based off the astrology, we all have to be extremely resourceful right now. We can actually become more successful than ever, I believe. We're going to see probably more billionaires created during this, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it doesn't matter. Mercury retrograde in my 3rd house, right? It's been a doozy, but, I feel like during these bank collapses and, recession is the word I was looking for, whatever's going on, right? I think that people will be very successful, but you have to, get started on your business ideas, or your job ideas, or whatever you want to do. And you have to realize that you have to be resourceful, and maybe you have to do it without money, or you have to find another way to do the things that you want to do. Again, it's going to be the people who stand out, who get the proper attention, that find the most success. That's why I always encourage people, get as much attention as you possibly can. Come up with new ways to get attention, and, new weird ways to get attention, right? Tap into your Aquarius self. With the empty well card, you have the Moon. Again, I kind of feel for those of you that don't know what to do, the Moon is saying, well, and the star as well would say that maybe you need something to work towards. Again, the star can kind of represent having a North Star, just having that one thing that you work towards, and no matter what, everything you do points you in that direction. My whole purpose that I've come up with is I want to help people make their dent in the universe. So it's like everything I do, every video I create, every business I create now, every other side thing that I work on, all of it kind of points in that direction. So it's like, it doesn't matter if I know what to do or not, as long as I know that what I'm doing is going in that direction. And so maybe some of you going this way, need to come up with like a purpose or, some sort of direction. And I think that, people always say to me, I don't know what my purpose is. I'm like, well, I think you're thinking too hard about it. It's like, what do you love? What do you love doing? And I think that also one of my bugaboos with the spiritual community is that it's like, I think people think like, oh, I have to, go save the turtles or, do something like that. And I'm not saying those things aren't important, but what I am saying is it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. If you want to start a hot dog cart, then go and do it if that's what your passion really is. And I think that's more important. With the Six of Wands, we're not there yet, but I don't know. Sure, I pulled it. So with the Six of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. We're going to talk about the Six of Wands here first, but I'm going to take that Two of Wands as well. Six of Wands is a card of success and achievement. It's also a card of recognition, especially when you have a reading where the star comes up along with it. I feel like there could be a lot of recognition or achievements coming in for you right now. I also feel with this Two of Wands, it's kind of like saying, if I can hold on to it, I feel like the Two of Wands could be saying that you need to take the lead in some area of your life. The Two of Wands is about, he's normally standing at the top of a castle and he has the whole world in his hands. And we see the world right here. So the world is a card of achievements. Right next to it, you have the Emperor. I kind of feel like the Emperor is a person, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I also feel it's kind of you. And with the world, I feel you need to like take control over that world in your hands. You could probably actually be much more successful than you are at this time, but you're gonna have to make some changes. I've been saying since 2016 that everything you want is on the other side of something you've never done before. So if you're doing the same thing that you did same thing today that you did yesterday, you're stuck. That's from John Taffer. That's one of my favorite quotes of all time. So, I feel that this is saying you have to mix it up. You have to do things differently. And you also have this many paths card. Typically, I've talked to a lot of people who say that they're stuck in life and they don't know what to do. But when I ask them more questions, when we get down to it, they're just doing the same thing when there are many solutions to the problems that they're dealing with. So, and they just haven't tried those other solutions. So I think it's very easy, and this is not a criticism, but I think it's very easy to get stuck on a solution or to think that one solution is the answer when there could be other solutions that could solve all your problems. So, be open to solutions. And again, this doesn't even have to be for problems. Things could be going, I always say, things could be going well for you, but maybe you want things to be better. And this says, look for, other ways to build your business. Look for other ways to, interact with people so that you can have a relationship or whatever it is that you want. I would just be realizing that there are many opportunities and different ways of doing things. With the Six of Wands and the Two of Wands, you have the Magician. Right next to that Sorcerer card. I feel like for a lot of you that Pluto and Aquarius, in your sign, it is impossible for you to not change. With Pluto being in your sign, it is impossible for you to not go through some sort of transformation. And, I just think that this is kind of saying, the Magician can represent reinvention. So, I kind of feel like you're reinventing yourselves at this time. With the World, you have the Two of Swords. Yes, only seeing one way of doing things. She has her arms crossed over her chest. She's sitting on a granite bench. It's meant to look hard. That bench that she's sitting on the Two of Swords, because her ass hurts. She's been sitting there forever. There's a new island behind her. She's only thinking this way, that way, this solution, that solution, but there's a third solution behind her. I talk all about third places, how, none of the solutions, mark my words, by the end of Pluto and Aquarius, the solutions that, come out into the world are not going to be what you think. It's like for, I always use cars as an example. It's like everybody's like, oh, you have to have an electric car. And then there's other people that are like, no, I'm not going to get rid of my gas car. But what if there's something that's even better than both of those things, right? What if there's I always use the example of what if we could drive our cars on brainwaves, right? Or something else. And it's like there's going to be probably another solution that's much, much better than whatever this side and that side are fighting about. And again, Two of Swords, third place solution, a solution that no one is thinking about. These third place solutions are going to come from us, as I say. Pluto and Aquarius is all about the little guy. It's all about us, the collective, solutions coming from the collective and things like that. So it's not going to come from, the government or, anyone else. The whole point of Pluto leaving Capricorn is the breakdown of structure. So I'm not saying government's going anywhere, but, again, in its current form, it probably will be breaking down. We're already seeing that happen. So, what I would say is if you have any third place solutions to any problems in your life, or again, if you're doing things the same way, if you're sitting where you have always been sitting, it's time to look for new solutions. With the Many Paths card, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is the solution to the many paths. If you have many paths, many opportunities to do things in your life, Six of Pentacles just says start planting seeds in a direction. Just start trying multiple ideas that you have. The ideas that grow, keep investing in them. The ideas that don't grow, move on to something else. Try something differently. Next, you have the Seven of Wands. I do also feel that some of you could be guarded against a person who breadcrumbed you. So if you have been dealing with love or looking for love, I kind of feel like someone exhausted you. You have that empty well. I'll show you right here, actually. If we go like this, you go from the empty well up to that Seven of Wands. So it looks to me like you could have been left out in the cold by a person who, maybe emotionally hurt you, or maybe they just took up too much of your energy or your time, or again, maybe they breadcrumbed you here. And so I feel some of you, that Seven of Wands says you are guarded against that person. Mercury retrograde, probably a good idea. But other than that, Seven of Wands, going from Seven of Wands to Five of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles says do not call attention to your weaknesses, but Seven of Wands is about believing something so deeply that you make it happen. It's a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know that something is for you. So if you can believe that you are meant to start your business, or that you're meant to move or travel or whatever you're trying to do, it won't matter if you have the resources or not. Because if you believe it to be true, then it will be true, and you'll find a way to make it happen. And again, you have this horned cactus card here, and it says resourcefulness. So I feel like it's saying you need to be resourceful in a time of drought. How crazy is it that all my readings, when I do regular tarot, it's like the Three of Wands comes up all the time, for example. And do you have the Three of Wands? No. But Oh, no, you have the Two of Wands. But, the Three of Wands, he's normally looking out into that water, and it's golden in color. And the reason for this is because traditionally, he actually thinks he's looking at the desert. But when he looks closer, he sees the ships. So it's like he thinks he's looking at something where he thinks there's no opportunity, but there actually is a big opportunity. There are 3 boats that he could get on, and those 3 boats are encouraging him to go on the adventure. So again, we are all going to feel and be restricted at this time. The trick is to look for the opportunity in the restriction, to find a way to make things happen, to find a way to get attention. Just look at my channel, right? They've been restricting tarot, but I don't know, I've been doing okay for the past few months because I made some changes, right? So again, it's like there is an opportunity in the restriction, and you just have to find it. I'm living proof here. But what I would say is I also think that it's just encouraging you to be resourceful. You have the Emperor, so you're really taking the lead. I do feel like anything you're starting could be very successful. I also feel you could be getting into a relationship with an Aries if you are looking for love. Let's see here. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yes. I feel like you have to let go of the old way of doing things. Pretty simple. Basically everything I've been saying so far. With the Emperor, you have the Sun. Are you kidding? A lot of happiness, a lot of joy coming in for you. Like a lot of new beginnings coming in for you as well, but I love it. With the Horned Cactus card, you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a card of tapping into your emotions. And it's also a card of just your heart. She really values her emotions and how she feels about things. And she also takes action on things that she wants to create in her life. And she just does those things. So, I kind of feel like that's what this is saying. Take action on the things that you want in life, and I feel like you'll be very successful, plain and simple. Next, you have the Five of Pentacles. So again, Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Make sure to focus on your strengths. Normally, there's a guy who has a bell around his neck on the Five of Pentacles. And again, he's calling attention to his weaknesses. It's also a card of needing to be resourceful. So I feel like, again, resourcefulness is a word that comes up here a lot. On top of that, again, I do feel like some of you have dealt with a person who left you out in the cold. You do have this Wall card. It does say obstacles on it. So again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like some of you have dealt with some obstacles, and I feel like there will probably continue to be obstacles. I'm not claiming and never have claimed that anything is going to be easy right now, but again, like I said, I'm also not going to sugarcoat my readings. It's like, people are always like, I've had enough, and, all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know, give up, right? It's like, I don't care. Do whatever you want. But like I say, it's like you can either just give up, or you can realize that you're going to have to be resourceful. You're going to have to put your thinking cap on, and you can be more successful than ever. Again, mark my words. There will be people during this time who will be more successful than ever. We will probably see the first trillionaire, although don't get me started on that, because I think that there are secret reptile alien families that probably have trillions of dollars that exist, right? there probably already are trillionaires is my point. But again, we will see the first trillionaire, I bet, during Pluto and Aquarius over the next 20 years. Probably going to happen. So, again, the energy exists, but we just have to face the obstacles and overcome them. And the obstacles that we're going to see are only obstacles because they represent the unknown. We will see more of the unknown kind of, popping up around us where we don't know what's going to happen. The other thing I worry about is, well, I don't worry about it, but I think about it, is that I think people are going to not get started on things because they're worried about the future. Like, if you're sitting here thinking like, oh, I want to start a blog, but AI is ruining blogging because everybody can just use AI, so I'm just not going to get started. It's like you're shooting yourself in the foot before you even get started. So don't do that. If you have an idea, just get started just because you want to do it. Queen of Cups, she does things because her heart tells her to do it. And I promise you, if you do that, then you will be successful. Again, AI isn't that great yet. Will it eventually get there? Probably. But I don't know, it's not that great. You have this Ghost Dance card. I kind of feel like this card is saying that your ancestors, your guides, your mentors, whatever you want to call them, I feel like they are guiding you and encouraging you through your dreams. And really, it's kind of weird. The second I put this card down, that's what was popping into my head, is that you need to pay attention to your dreams. So, Aquarius, listen to your dreams and your daydreams or your signs and symbols. Seems to be like very intuitive. Let's see. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. Yes, again, I would be careful of a past person. This Mercury retrograde seems to be kind of like potent for bringing people back from the past. So I would be very careful of anyone from the past here with the Six of Cups. What I would, especially if they left you out in the cold, because they're probably going to do it again. And you have the Nine of Swords, which says, don't repeat a mistake. Maybe you already did this with the person once, so it's like, don't do it again. But I also feel that this could just be kind of like obstacles being removed from your path. I always say that the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe, and it can remove obstacles. You have this obstacle card right here, but it could be getting removed. Look, with the obstacles card, you have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups says focus on your happiness. I think there's going to be a lot of reasons to be miserable. I've said this before, but I think the people who can tune out the noise and who can focus on reasons to be happy, obviously, you're going to find reasons to be happy. The Ten of Cups is also fortune after difficulty, so it looks to me like this reading is saying you're overcoming an obstacle. With the Ghost Dance card, you have the King of Cups. Divine counterparts right here. I kind of a weird message that some of you might be feeling love before it enters into your life. Like maybe you kind of have those, I don't even know how to describe it to you, Aquarius. It's almost like maybe you feel, it's like maybe you almost feel the presence of a person or something. So there could be a person entering into your life. Those are divine counterparts. Could be any sign coming in for you as well. But that's that. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this excitement card, so I feel like it is time for you to get excited, clearly. Like I said, I kind of do get that, fortune after difficulty type of feeling on the Ten of Cups, so clearly there are some improvements coming in for you. Next, you have the empathy card. If you're attracting a person, I feel like they are very empathetic. They probably are just a good person to talk to, very kind and caring. Again, Queen of Cups, King of Cups would kind of represent that very kind, caring, nurturing type energy. So it could be a person like that. But let's keep this going. Next, you have this optimism card. I feel like this reading is encouraging you to be optimistic. You have the Sun, Ten of Cups right next to each other. So there's probably a lot of reasons for you to be happy at this time, or there will be soon. Love it. Next, you have this Quarrel card. I would be careful of anyone from the past who is tricky, trickster, liar, who just repeats the same mistakes. I would encourage you to avoid people who make the same mistakes over and over and over again as well. That's definitely something, personally, like over the last few years, something that I've really been paying attention to is like what people say to me. Because when you meet new people, not just in love, I'm talking about friendships, business partnerships, pretty much everything. It's like I believe people show us who they are very, very quickly. We just choose not to listen. So I kind of feel like this is saying listen to what people, are telling you. It's like, I started working with this guy. There was someone I hired this year as well. And, I always tell his story. It's like, just like right off the bat, he was like super slow to respond. He wasn't really like paying attention to things, and I could tell that there were some issues, right? But I let him stay for way too long. I should have fired him much, much sooner because, it just turned into a whole issue where he basically ignored me for like 3 months, and, I had a bunch of work that I needed him to be doing. and I was paying him, right? And so like he did the work, but he was also ignoring me. So and it's like one of those things. Like I said, I should have listened to myself, and I don't regret it, but it's definitely something I think about. And I kind of feel that for you, Aquarius. That's why I'm telling this to you, because I feel like there could be some moments, not just right now, but in the future, where it's like maybe a person shows up for love, but maybe they ignore you, maybe they don't pay attention to you or whatever. And I feel like this is saying you need to listen to that. Finally, you have this eccentricity card. Yeah, I mean, this is you. I feel like it's, Pluto and Aquarius. It's time for you to tap into your weird ideas, your eccentric ideas. Pretty much anything like that will lead to more success. But Aquarius, this is a very good reading. I feel like it's like fortune after difficulty. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.